So I would recommend you don't eat those seasoned curly fries in the high school. The lox that they put on the bagels, the school lunch, because there's certain foods that can attack your libido. So like like I mean, this is kind of funny, right? Some is for growth, some is for show, right? But sometimes that diet will hollow your shit out. It'll be flaccid, and it'll be like, because I'll be honest, like you'll notice a difference when you start eating them school lunches and that stuff. It's like it's a sinister plan, because one thing leads to another, leads to another, leads to another, and somebody who doesn't want well, let's just say an enemy, knows that a lot of these entry level, like in the very beginning, before you become a Fabian, soy kami, you don't know any pronouns. Like if you go back to like the late 90s, the people that were starting out in this LGBTY everything, some of their pronoun is coming from a place of being like kind of newly inducted. If they knew anything about asexual, nobody would ever call themselves asexual. You wouldn't, because if you look at the creatures that, there's different. Okay, there's parthenogenetic replication is one thing, but there's also the asexual replication of creatures that don't have a gender, but what happens is they have a little sword with their genetic material, and it just punches through. It just any part of their body, any part of the body. They don't have like to connect with a sexual organ. They just punch through any part of the body. The same way that these vampires like to bite on each other and shit like that. It doesn't mean that you're not, they're not intercoursing you could be asexual and still go out and do intercourse with another creature. You know what I mean? Asexual doesn't mean gay. It didn't pick, it wasn't like I'm talking about pests, right? There's this one kind of pest. It doesn't say I want a male or a female to go out. It's just any one of them. Any one of them could be a potential mate. So it is kind of gross and scary, like if you look at a vampire like Bram Stoker's Dracula, right? The color of his robes, the way his hair is shaped and everything. Why is it the same as a bed bug? The bed bug's the shape is the same as the Bram Stoker, and the color is the same shape as his little robes, and he's asexual. It's like going in, if you want to have an interlude and you start biting on it. Get the fuck out of here. That is not what you want to call yourself. I'm sorry. That is some serious shit. Anyways, apparently this building, like fucking they're just, it doesn't matter about getting on top of that situation. You can have a controlled apartment, and you can have all the baking soda, all this shit. But if your building is infested, those things are constantly coming in. You're still gonna get bit like every other night, every third night, every other night. You're not getting all bit up, but you're still gonna get bit. So like, it's like fucking, it's just like, ugh. Like I wake up like looking all around and shit. Where are they? You wake up fast. You wake up like this. My thing is dry. That's the source of mental illness. You could give me a CAT scan and you wouldn't find the mental illness, because my brain would be running normally and everything like that. But it would go back to the fact that this building has bugs, little asexual fucking stabby basties. Apparently they don't transmit any illnesses, which is why they've been allowed to evolve. Like, it's like, not evolve, but I mean, this is why they have been allowed to occupy our living spaces, is because they haven't represented enough of a problem then for us to go in and exterminate all of them. So somebody keeps bringing them back around, probably somebody who can't take care of himself anymore, someone who's old, someone who has bad habits, somebody who doesn't give a fuck, somebody who's tweaking, somebody who, like, this kind of shit. Like, if there's one of those in your building, then they never get clean. Like, they never get rid of it. And it's their habits that just keeps bringing it back. You know, it could come from the bus, it could come from the train, it could come from someone's car, it could come from hotels. You can bring it back from hotels. So it's not I shouldn't feel shame or anything like that, unless one of the motherfuckers was on my clothes. And if I go anywhere and there's one of those little motherfuckers on my clothes, somebody could see that shit and I don't see that shit, and I'm all like, oh, you know, everything's gravy, you know, just fucking, I don't even realize it. People are like, oh, fucking, ah. So I'm gonna go live on the road for a little while, because in a van I can meticulously just go through everything, wash, dry everything in the laundromat, then fucking go through, sterilize everything. And I'm living outdoors, and it's got a motor on it, so I'm not taking the bus. And so, like, for a certain amount of time, you know, apparently they take 18 months because they can live without a blood meal for 18 months. So I'm not gonna have good Wi-Fi for a little while. I'll have just only mobile data, no 5G, and listen to, you know, like, just like running away from these little crabby basties that some people can't understand why it's important to me that I know they're freaking out, because they're like, oh, you're gonna be homeless. Man, I can't wait to get out. I cannot wait to get out. It's gonna be cold, the weather, great. Dude, bedbugs hate weather. They hate it. Great. I am not finna get bit every fucking third day because of I have this under control shit. Fuck that shit. This building has been treated over and over and over and over and over. They're constantly going through and treating the building. They really want to get rid of this shit. But you go to the laundromat and look in the lint trap, and there's some lady who can't take care of herself anymore. And when she does laundry, it is literally a pile of fucking bugs in there. A pile. They're piled up. Like, what? No, there's after 2 heat treatments and 2 chemical treatments, and fucking go to the laundromat, and fucking, that's the first thing you see. No, there's no way I'll ever believe anybody tell me you're asexual. I think you just don't have enough of the LGBTY vernacular. Like, they have to tell you some other things that you could be for you to, because you don't know. You just probably got your libido knocked out by soy and things in the diet. There's like certain drugs and there's certain things in the diet that they're fucking with. You need an elimination diet because you're not asexual. Your shit will fill out, like, it'll start feeling heavy again. Like, your dick probably is big and light like a balloon. It's flaccid. It looks like some is for grow and some is for show. And the same can happen again if you come alcohol, Then you gotta stop. You gotta do elimination diet because your libido is like one of the first things. It's like one of the first things. You say heroin or something. It's like will knock your stuff in the dirt. It will knock your thing in the dirt. Then you're gonna be like, oh, I think I'm asexual. No, motherfucker. How can you even say that about yourself?